Welcome to the public hearing for the recommended preferred alternative for the Bowers Hill Interchange Improvement Study. As a reminder from previous presentations and study materials, the Bowers Hill Interchange Improvement Study covers the junction of I-664, I-64, I-264, U.S. Route 13, U.S. Route 58, U.S. Route 460, and Virginia Route 191 Jolliffe Road, as well as 7 miles of I-664 to near College Drive, Exit 8A. You can view previous presentations and materials on the study website at www.bowershillinterchange.com. Hard copy versions of these materials have been and will remain available upon request. VDOT has developed this presentation to provide information and gather public comment on the recommendation for a preferred alternative. This presentation will first provide an overview of the study and the study process. Then, the purpose and need for the study and the alternatives that have been considered will be described. Next, VDOT's recommendation for a preferred alternative will be explained. Finally, VDOT will share ways the public can provide input on the recommended preferred alternative to inform agency coordination and Commonwealth Transportation Board action and share the next steps for the study. In April 2019, the Federal Highway Administration, or FHWA, issued the Bowers Hill Interchange Improvement Study Environmental Assessment, or EA, which evaluated improvements at the Bowers Hill Interchange. In May 2020, the study area was expanded to incorporate an additional 7 miles north along I-664 to near the College Drive interchange in Suffolk. Based on this change, this new study was initiated in the form of an Environmental Impact Statement, EIS. In fall and winter 2020, VDOT conducted early planning activities. These activities included agency and public outreach, field investigations, and preliminary concept development. The purpose and need sets the goal for the study and serves as the primary criteria in the alternative screening process. The development of the purpose and need for the study was informed by nearly 1,300 responses to a public survey conducted in September and October 2020. In December 2020, the agencies involved in the study concurred on the purpose and need. In February through March 2021, VDOT held a citizen comment opportunity to present the preliminary range of alternative concepts that have been developed based on the purpose and need. Public comments obtained during that review led the agencies involved in the study to concur to the range of alternatives to be considered and advanced in the EIS document. Today's presentation will cover where we are currently, which is the identification of VDOT's recommended preferred alternative. Later, we will review the next steps in the study. The alternatives were evaluated on how well they address the study's purpose and need, which is to reduce congestion, improve travel reliability, and provide additional travel choice within the study area. The purpose and need statement was agreed upon by VDOT, the Federal Highway Administration, United States Army Corps of Engineers, and the United States Environmental Protection Agency in December 2020 following the mentioned online public survey. Preliminary concepts were considered and were first presented during the citizen comment opportunity in February through March 2021. As a recap, no-build concept. The no-build concept was retained as a point of comparison for the alternatives moving forward as required for an EIS study. Concepts A1, A2, and concepts B1, B2. The general purpose lane improvements in concepts A1 and A2 and concepts B1 and B2 would not provide additional travel choice and therefore would not meet all the elements of the purpose and need. Therefore, these options were not retained for further evaluation in the EIS. These concepts also include addressing the Bowers Hill interchange and consideration of improvements to other interchanges within the study area. Concepts C and D. The managed lanes improvements would reduce congestion, provide improvement to travel reliability, and provide additional travel choice, meeting all elements of the purpose and need. Both were retained for further evaluation in the EIS. The term managed lanes refers to lanes that may have dedicated or restricted uses. For example, a high-occupancy vehicle, or HOV lane, is a lane that requires 2 or 3 people to be in each car traveling in the given lane. An express lane is a lane that requires either HOV participation or for a single occupancy vehicle to pay a toll to use the given lane. The express lanes are being implemented throughout much of Hampton Roads as part of the Hampton Roads Express Lane Network. These concepts also include addressing the Bowers Hill Interchange and consideration of implementations to other interchanges within the study area. Concept E, collector-distributor or CD lanes, which are lanes specifically designed to handle entering and exiting traffic along a highway, would not address congestion on the entire I-664 mainline study area or provide additional travel choice. So it was determined that CD lanes, as standalone improvements, would not meet the purpose and need and were therefore not retained for further evaluation. CD lanes could still be considered at select interchanges as part of the final design of a preferred alternative. Concept F, Transportation Systems Management, Transportation Demand Management, or TSM, TDM improvements would not address congestion on the entire I-664 mainline or provide reliable additional travel choice on their own. Therefore, standalone TSM, TDM improvements would not meet the purpose and need and were not retained for further evaluation. Such improvements could, however, be implemented as separate projects in the future. As a reminder from previous presentations, the purpose of these improvements would be to maximize the efficiency of the current transportation system or reduce the demand for travel on the system through the implementation of low-cost improvements. The following recommendations derived from the I-664 corridor improvement study. Extend the acceleration lane at northbound I-664 exit 13, which is the loop from Military Highway. Add new bus route 970 from downtown Portsmouth to downtown Newport News and the Newport News Shipbuilding that would run 4 trips per peak period. More information on these improvements can be found on the I-664 Corridor Improvement Study website, which is www.i-64-664publicinfo.com. Concept G. Transit-only improvements were not retained for further evaluation as they do not address congestion on the I-664 mainline, nor do they improve travel reliability, so they would not meet the purpose and need and were therefore not retained for further evaluation. However, enhanced transit is not precluded from the corridor under a preferred alternative documented in the EIS or as an independent project. Such improvements could, however, be implemented as separate projects in the future. VDOT, Federal Highway Administration, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency agreed that the no-build and to-build alternatives, alternatives C and D, should be carried forward for analysis in the EIS, following the public comment period during the February through March 2021 citizen comment opportunity. Alternative C includes the addition of 1 managed lane and 1 part-time drivable shoulder as part of the managed lane system in each direction. A part-time drivable shoulder converts the paved shoulders to drivable lanes during certain times of the day as a congestion relief strategy. Alternative D includes the addition of 2 managed lanes in each direction of I-664. Alternatives C and D were carried forward for detailed analysis because they met the study's purpose and need. A planning level limit of disturbance or footprint was established for the alternatives carried forward based on preliminary engineering to assess a worst-case scenario for impacts. An impact analysis was conducted to assess where the proposed improvements may affect surrounding properties and resources like wetlands. Following an FHWA NEPA decision, VDOT would be able to advance with more detailed design phases. During these detailed phases of design, which would include permitting, appropriate engineering could be completed to avoid impacts to resources and private properties to the greatest extent practicable. It is important to note that the impacts shown are a worst-case scenario and will be revisited and refined during final design and permitting. VDOT's recommended preferred alternative is Alternative C, the addition of 1 managed lane and 1 part-time drivable shoulder in each direction of I-664. This alternative and the impact estimates presented on the previous slide also includes addressing the Bowers Hill interchange and potentially the interchanges that occur along the I-664 study area. Illustrative planning level designs have been developed as part of the EIS to support the impact and cost estimates. The means by which these interchanges would be improved are to be determined during more detailed phases of design. VDOT plans to recommend Alternative C as the preferred alternative for the following reasons. It best meets the purpose and need while balancing costs and impacts. The addition of one managed lane and one part-time drivable shoulder is consistent with the improvements underway for the Hampton Roads Express Lanes, HREL, which allow for buses to operate in the express lanes. Following public review of VDOT's recommendation of Alternative C as the preferred alternative, the Commonwealth Transportation Board will review and act to formally identify the preferred alternative, which will then be documented in the Draft Environmental Impact Statement, or DEIS. The Hampton Roads Express Lanes is a network consisting of multiple segments of express lanes and will provide safe and reliable travel options while helping to relieve congestion in the region. Expanding along I-64 from Bowers Hill and Chesapeake to 1.2 miles west of Denby Boulevard in Newport News. The network is expected to be completed in late winter 2025. The Bowers Hill Interchange improvement study is only in the study phase and is not part of HREL. After this hearing, VDOT will review public comments received and finalize the study documentation. Once the Commonwealth Transportation Board has formally identified the preferred alternative, FHWA will publish the draft EIS, which is anticipated to be available for public review in late summer 2022. The issuance of the draft EIS will be accompanied by another opportunity for the public to comment and attend a hearing similar to this one. Sign up on the study website at vdotmeeting.com/Bowers Hill or contact VDOT to receive notifications on the issuance of the draft EIS and future public hearings. Following the review of the draft EIS, VDOT and the FHWA will respond to substantive comments received from the public and the agencies involved in the study, refine any necessary analysis, and document these efforts in a final EIS. FHWA will issue the final EIS with a record of decision. These documents will be made available to the public and will indicate that the study phase is complete. If you would like to provide comments on VDOT's preferred alternative or on the study in general, you can provide your comments on the study's website at vdotmeeting.com/Bowers Hill. Mail your comments to Bowers Hill Interchange Improvement Study at 11827 Cannon Boulevard, Suite 402, Newport News, Virginia, 23606, or email your comments to bowershill@vdot.virginia.gov using the subject line Bowers Hill Interchange. Stay updated on the study progress by visiting the study website at bowershillinterchange.com and by signing up for the monthly newsletter. Future public comment opportunities will be shared on the study website and through our e-newsletter. Thank you for your interest in this important study.